We are in the people business. We just happen to sell cars. Gosh, we said that for a long time around here, but what does that really mean? Well, this is our attempt to bring out some of what that means in real-life stories of the people that make up this special company. My name's Ty Bullard, and I have the honor and the privilege of leading Joe Bullard Automotive right here in Mobile, Alabama, that is truly trying to make a difference one person at a time. Really, Ty? Easy to say, but are you seriously trying to do this or just saying this? I get it, and frankly, I think it's a fair thought. But come journey with us as we open up with these people and truly get to explore their humanness that makes them difference makers. We all have a story. I do, you do, we all do, and I'm just excited to share some of these with you. Okay, enough with the intro. Let's jump in. Welcome back to JBTV. We finally have a name, and we're going with JBTV, so it's exciting to have you back. I am super excited about today. Now, I know I probably say that every time, but I really am. This is somebody that I've actually tried a few weeks to have, and it conflict, there was something that came in between, but finally got it back on the schedule, and I'm proud to introduce to you. Some of you know him very well. Some of you maybe have never met him within the company. Some of you are like, who's this guy? But the proud Bayou Bengal, Dean Hauge. I am excited to have you, which I think, Dean, when I think about your name and people meet you, they're like, is it Dean Hauge? Is it Dean Hauge? Is it Dean, tell us who you are, Dean. Welcome to JBTV, and tell us who Dean is.
Well, my name is Dean Hauge, like
Yeah.
the bread. I answer to everything. I did have a school teacher many years ago in England say my name for the first time correctly, and the only reason she said it correctly was she had taught my older two brothers. And
She had practice.
Yeah, she had practice. But you go to a doctor's office, you learn to listen because there's no telling what they're going to come up with.
And we, as you and I have always said, doctors are what?
Like lawyers, they're just practicing.
I love that about it. We talk about lawyers, the only job they get paid to practice.
That's it. At our expense.
At our expense.
We can't practice on your car, but they can practice on your body.
By us practicing on your car cost us money.
Amen,
because that's
brother.
called
Yes, it
mistakes.
does.
But no,
Yes,
we
it
won't
does.
pick on doctors.
No.
But I always think that's funny how you say that.
Yeah.
Well, tell us, Dean. Tell us, give us a little background. Obviously, what do you do here right now? Tell us what you do
I'm
here.
a service advisor. I'm kind of like the middle guy. The other day in church, they were talking about people going to therapy. I'm kind of like the car therapist. I'm gonna, you come see me, and I'm gonna.
Like
look
we
over
say,
your-
and I think you would agree, anything related to your car, call me.
Yeah.
Like if it's in between your car, your hood,
Accurate to you go, we fix them all.
accurate, you go, we fix them all.
That's it.
That's one thing you'll learn, or one thing that I do want to explore today is I don't know if we call them Deanisms or, there's just so many sayings that you've said and coined throughout the years that really come up to me. Load the wagon. Don't worry about the mule. Load the wagon. Hump day. Hey, hump day, baby, hump day. There's an email that you will send us some hump days to kind of a random group of people that encourages.
I get here and I get here earlier than everybody else, and I would just want somebody else to feel as pumped up as I am. Kind of like Saturday Night Live. I'm Hans and Franz. I'm here to pump you up.
Let me ask you something, Dean. Why do you get here earlier than everybody else?
It's important to me. It's important. You don't know. You want to be prepared when the customer walks in the door. You don't want to be shuffling around getting coffee or anything like that. You want to show them that you're prepared, professional, and you don't. They might be in a rush and they need somebody right then and there. I want to be there for them.
How much time is generally are you here maybe by yourself in the morning before and I'm not calling people out for being late, but what I'm saying is how much time, tell me about that time that maybe you're here before anybody else.
My wife could be watching this, so I've been known to get here at 4 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah. I've been,
dark.
Yeah.
Way dark.
I've been known to get here at 4, but there are extended warranty. There's work you can be doing when nobody else is here. Nobody's, no phone calls to answer or anything like that. And you can email estimates to extended warranty companies. There's things you can do. You can review other invoices, see what technician's actually doing, whether he needs to be woken up about, hey, this invoice been here for 3 days. Let's look at it. Let's go back to it or something like that. There's something you can do.
And Because when you open that door at 7:30, it's game on with distraction after distraction.
That's it, one after another. We've been known to, on a Monday morning, to write, 50, 60 cars, and so you got to be prepared and you got to love the wagon. Don't worry about the mule.
How long you done it?
46 years. 46 years.
And you were born where, Dean?
In San Antonio, Texas. I almost said England, but San Antonio, Texas. I was an Air Force brat. I was born, and then my father got shipped to Vietnam. My mother was English, and she took us all home to England. And then my dad came out of Vietnam, and they chose to stay in England.
What do you remember about England?
A lot. I remember going to school. I remember going my first day of school being like 6 years old and having to tie a tie. I mean, from 6 years old on up, you have to wear a tie. It was uniforms, and it was nice. It makes you feel good. You dress up, you feel good. If you wear casual clothes, okay, but there's something about being dressed up in nice clothes, a tie, and stuff like that. It makes you feel better. But I remember.
How long were you there? How long
I was there until January of 1976.
So how old were you when you left England?
13. I just turned 13.
Okay.
Yep.
So you spent your early years in England.
Yep. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. My mom actually grew up in England because she was an Army brat, and my grandfather at some point was stationed in England, and she just reminds me and always talks about the you bring up school and just how hard it was.
Yep.
Like it with the discipline and the just the regiment of school in England was different.
You didn't over here when I first came. You saw the same teacher every day. Over there, it was so much different. I might have had English first 2 periods of Monday, but you might not have English again until Thursday. So you was able to learn more. It's a better system, I'd say.
13 years old, you moved to where?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's it.
Which has got a little French flair
being
to it.
Built.
You watched the Superdome being built.
Yep.
Dadgum.
Yep.
So you moved to a little bit of a French area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, So tell me about that. What's next after you moved to New Orleans and you were there how long?
Quite a while. About 15, 16 years.
Really?
I've actually been in Mobile, Alabama longer than I've been in New Orleans, but me and my wife, we go back regularly to eat.
And your first job was what in New Orleans?
First job was washing dishes. I've washed dishes. I've washed more dishes than
with
everybody.
Like the awesome little spray thing. It's real hot.
You have never washed dishes until you wash dishes at a Shoney's, and I've done that. But and then I ended up going to work at a Exxon Car Care Center. That's what got me into this field. And
Exxon Car Care Center, which is like the gas station that had the service center attached. Okay, you don't see those much anymore.
No, you don't, and I enjoyed it. I did that for 7 years and had a.
But you didn't work on cars, did you?
No.
Okay.
I had family members come to work with us, and they went to the mechanical side, and I realized I had the gift of gab, and my ink pen and my mouth could make me more money than working on the cars. So I stayed.
You realized that pretty early on.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah.
And so you started there and then went where? Went
to Firestone, and then from Firestone I went to Goodyear, and then Goodyear moved me here to Mobile, and then I left there, and I called a friend of mine and I said, man, I'm sick and tired of working on Saturdays. Oh, you need to come work for us. We're building a new store on Cottage Hill. You need to come work for us. And I came to work for Joe Bullard. And
we opened on Saturdays.
We opened up on Saturdays. But that's all good.
Yeah, no, hey, I think it's a fair point. And that was how long ago?
It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, we just celebrated your 20-year anniversary a few months ago.
Yes.
Gosh.
Time flies when you're having fun.
For sure. Dean, tell me a little bit, part of this is we can always talk about what we've done, and we've talked about, our development and what we've learned in career and stuff. I want to hit on a couple things, and one is, what's something personally that maybe, I say struggle with, but what's something that you faced personally that was a big deal, like that's really kind of probably turned you into the person you are today? Because what I see today, and I think what everybody appreciates around here, that really anybody that comes in interaction with you, is just your positiveness and your look on life. And you take what you got and you really just make it better, and you make the people around you feel better. And you're not perfect, none of us are, but you just have this way about you that just kind of raises all boats around you. So tell me, like, was there something in your past that maybe you struggle with that you're willing to share and walk us through?
Well, from growing up in England, you get a different sense of humor, and English humor is a little different, and I have a little bit different sense of humor than others, and maybe I think things are, funny and other people don't. I say things that maybe I shouldn't, but I say it in fun because I want everybody to be as happy as I am.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, about 8.5 years ago, I was over in Houston, Texas with my wife, and we were visiting, and she just had her moments, and I'd only had a beer or two, and she had a moment. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to quit drinking. You can't quit drinking. I'll show you. And 3 days later, it's 4th of July. 3 days later, we're driving back, and she looked at me. She said, "You've done it, huh?" I said, "Yes, I've done it." And she said, "Well, how long do you think you're going to do it?" And I said, I can do this. And I quit cold turkey. It's been 8.5 years, and
Wow.
it was the best thing I ever did, for not just for myself physically, but for my marriage, and for my kids to see that they knew their dad liked to drink. I was never a drunk, but I like to have a cold beer here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go to a restaurant and order 2 beers, And one quick side note, you quit drinking, you go to a restaurant, the service is terrible because you're not drinking. But I'm a tipper, when you drink Coca-Cola and she drinks water with lemon, they ain't coming back. So you better order something good the first time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
But
that's it for you. But for you, Dean, that was kind of a stake in the ground that said, "Hey,
gosh.
I'm going this direction.
Yep.
I could go this direction, but I'm making a decision today to go this direction." And you've seen a tremendous benefit from that.
No doubt.
Wow.
No doubt. Everything in my life is so much better. Just financially, spiritually, everything about it is, and it's all because I quit drinking. I believe it.
Thank you for sharing that.
Well,
that's super encouraging.
If it helps one person out there, it's done me good.
And we're going to come back and hit on a couple more things, but thank you for sharing that and being willing to share that. And y'all stay tuned for the next episode.